Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Hostility, and today I'm back with another PC build video, and we have the budget of $2,000. And yeah, I've done like three $2,000 builds, including this one. But you know, since Broadwell-E launched, you know, I got broads in Atlanta. No, anyways, and the GTX 1080 launched, you know, I thought I'd do a build and make a GTX 1080 Broadwell-E baby, and this is what I came up with. So. Yeah, I haven't done a PC build in a while. I feel like I say that a lot, but the thing is, I just haven't been uploading consistently. So first of all, I just want to say that I do apologize for these, you know, just random sporadic uploads. I've been trying to get a video a week up, but you know, it's just really inconsistent. So I do apologize for that, first of all. But other than that, let's get straight into the video. And the gameplay that you're watching in the background is some League of Legends. Some just old gameplay that I have lying around. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the build, kicking it off with the CPU, which I have chosen to be the Intel Core i7-6800K 3.4 GHz 6-core processor. And you know, this is the baseline, I guess, Broadwell-E processor. It's like one step up from the 6700K, obviously, because you know it's 6800K. That's like 100 more. Anyways. It is a 3.4 clocked at 3.4 GHz, but obviously overclockable because this is a Extreme Edition processor, and you know what comes with Extreme in PC? Overclocking. It is 6 cores, but you know it does have hyperthreading, so you do get 12 threads. So overall, this CPU is more oriented towards power users, people who are going to take advantage of all that CPU horsepower, such as you know, like video editors, graphic designers, 3D workers, and you know, stuff that requires a lot of CPU intensive, like streaming. Actually, that requires a lot of CPU power, and this will definitely deliver. Like, this CPU will definitely deliver your needs, like, unless you know you're just using some outrageous amount, and therefore you should probably get like a 6950X. But yeah, you know, as far as the Broadwell-E scale goes, you know, I'd say the 6800K would be worth it. I don't know if I'd end up going for the 6850K. Like, the difference between those is the PCIe lanes, but that's not a huge deal breaker to me unless you're doing like 3 or 4-way SLI. Or you know, the 6900K is a good option if you don't have like the extra $1,000 to spend on the 6950X. But you know, yeah, anyways, I'm just rambling on. If you want to find out more about Broadwell-E, or you want me to make a video about it, please let me know. Otherwise, you can probably do some Google searching on your own. But there you go, CPU, which took about 2 minutes to go through. Anyways, going on to the CPU cooler, since it is an Extreme Edition processor, it doesn't need a CPU cooler, it doesn't come with one. I've chosen the CORSAIR H110i GTX liquid CPU cooler. Chosen this CPU cooler in the last couple of builds as well. It is really extremely solid. It will do a great job at cooling down this Extreme Edition processor, and I refer to it as an Extreme Edition processor because it is an Extreme Edition processor. And it'll, yeah, anyways, this, yeah, it's at a pretty decent price as well. Like $100 right now US for this is a pretty decent price, especially it does come with the 280mm radiator, and you know, Corsair links, stuff like that. All the good old Corsair water cooling stuff. You know, it's pretty standard. You could probably lean towards a custom loop, but you know, this will definitely do the job fine if you want to do a modest overclock. You probably get this thing to 4 GHz. Anyways, going on to the motherboard, as well as Broadwell-E launch, you know, Asus came out with motherboards to support the launch, and this motherboard here is the Asus ROG STRIX X99 Gaming ATX LGA11 2011 -3 motherboard, and I just butchered that name. Anyways, this motherboard actually looks really nice, really fantastic. First of all, the aesthetics look really good with the STRIX branding and the all black PCB, and which also adds on to the aesthetic is the LED lights, and it is, you know, RGB. It's configurable. You can add on your like lighting to the motherboard and have it all coordinated and stuff. It just, you know, it's like a backbone of like really cool PC cosmetics, or like the appearance. Like, obviously, if you don't care, probably want to pick another motherboard. But either way, this thing is feature packed. It is an ROG board, so you do get all those ROG features, such as like the game first and all that kind of good stuff that you do get from Asus. also is a really good overclocking board according to Asus. It does have the you know, the VRMs and stuff are of higher quality compared to other X99 motherboards. But yeah, you know, this is a really solid backbone choice for a motherboard, especially with you know, like a platform like this. You know, you could eventually get a 6950X and it'll work really well with this motherboard, as well as it's supporting, you know, 3-way SLI and whatnot. But either way, I really think it's a solid choice. So yeah, definitely worth the extra money. Like, don't go for a basic bitch X99 board. It's definitely not worth it. You'd rather step up to something like this, which is a lot nicer. Going on to the memory, I've chosen Corsair Vengeance LPX 32GB DDR4 3000 memory. And you know, Corsair Vengeance, this is like standard DDR4, except it's clocked at 3000 MHz, which means you are going to get faster memory performance. 32 gigs is more than enough for anyone who is going to be pushing the hell out of the system. So it does come with 2 sticks of 16, so you're only going to be using dual channel, and this motherboard happens to have 8 slots of memory, so you could possibly have 128 gigs in there, which is absolutely insane. I don't know why anyone would need 128 gigs of RAM, but yeah, 32 gigs is plenty, if you, especially if you are doing really intensive tasks, like I mentioned before, video editing, you know, working with Photoshop, graphic design, 3D work, and streaming or recording or whatever. This will definitely be enough. Otherwise, you can pick up another kit and get 64, which is also even more overkill. But anyways, going on to the storage, this time I've chosen for something a little bit different. It is still an SSD and HDD, but the SSD is actually an M.2 SSD, so I don't know if that really counts. But either way, I've chosen the Samsung 950 Pro 512GB M.2 2280 solid state drive, and you know, I kind of wanted to go a little bit broader on this one, because you know, there is no regular SSD like I have done before in my previous builds to back this one up. So 512GB plugged straight into the motherboard, so you will get faster performance compared to a regular SATA SSD. But yeah, definitely plenty of room to store all your stuff, your games, your programs, your OS, and other stuff that you want to launch quickly or have fast access to. And you know, Samsung makes really solid I guess like SSD chips and stuff like that, so you will definitely have no problems at all with reliability. Now, going on to the hard drive, I've chosen the Western Digital Blue 4TB 3.5-inch 5400 RPM internal hard drive, and 4TB is just like, that's plenty of space. You could probably split it up and get two terabyte drives, just so like you don't have all your eggs in one basket, and if one of the drives if this drive fails, you know, you lose everything. But then again, you know, 4TB is a lot of space. You can keep a lot of your stuff there, all your extra junk, other games that you don't play as often, music, movies, videos, gameplay, stuff like that. You know, whatever you want to store on your hard drive. I don't judge anybody, but either way, you're gonna have plenty of room for it. And yeah, you know, I guess, you know, you can vary it up with the storage options. Definitely, you know, this is probably one of the most customizable aspects of the build. Going on to the video card, and I mentioned before, this build does include a 1080, and we have the EVGA GeForce GTX 1080 8GB Superclocked Gaming ACX 3.0 video card. And if the 1080 wasn't good enough as it is, EVGA had to come in and make it even better. So this isn't like a tip-top, you know, kingpin card. This is just the basic, like, I guess, step up from the founders and from the basic bitch 1080s that EVGA sells. So it is superclocked, it is overclocked out of the box, but you can definitely push this thing further with the ACX 3.0 cooler, which is supposed to make things more cool and is supposed to be better than ACX 2.0 because, you know, it's all in the name. Anyways, yeah, it is overclocked, 8GB of GDDR5X memory. This card is just absolutely amazing, even though it wasn't as hyped up as it was. Still going to be a very good performer, especially at 1440p high, maybe even like low to medium 4K. Depends on what game you're playing. If you're playing like the latest AAA titles, you probably won't be able to play them at 4K, but you'll definitely have a really great time at 1440p. So yeah, either way, very solid choice, and you could obviously add in another one later on for two-way SLI and perhaps water cool them, so you do get like optimal water cooling like you would get optimal overclocking performance. So yeah, going on to the case, I've chosen the Inwin 805 Red. ATX mid-tower case. This case is just absolutely beautiful, glass on all sides. Inwin does a great job of cases. This is one of their more budget cases, I guess, but it doesn't look very budget at all. It has a tempered glass side panel. Very, very nice aesthetic. Has definitely enough room to store all your components and stuff, as well as do, you know, two-way SLI and extra drives and all that good stuff. But yeah, just the main reason I chose this case is because of the aesthetic. Obviously, you can choose something different. Case is you know, user preference. If you don't like one case, you can definitely choose another one, or you could choose a full tower case, or you could I should say you could step up to one, because this is more of an enthusiast or like a professional build where you might want to cram in as much stuff in as possible. You want to have more room for it, but definitely a solid choice from Inwin here. Now, going on to the last component of the build, the power supply, I've chosen the EVGA SuperNova 1000P2 80 plus platinum certified fully modular ATX power supply. So I've definitely gone with something a little bit nicer than I usually have. You know, I usually would go with the gold versions, but you know, platinum sounds a lot better. And it is, because it is a lot more efficient. And as well as it being, you know, 1000 watts, EVGA makes fantastic power supplies. I've said this time and time again. They have really fantastic products at really good prices, very competitive prices as well. 1000 watts is plenty to power up the system. Even add in two-way SLI or overclock, you'll have no problems whatsoever. This power supply should be able to handle the load just fine. That is not what she said. But yeah, that pretty much concludes the build right there. Video is going on a little bit longer than I expected it to, but the total comes out to $1834 and 79 cents, or 1,834 and 79 cents. So yeah, you could add in probably something a little bit more extra. There's like a couple extra bucks there, but yeah, there you go. There's my $2,000 Broadwell-E GTX 1080 build. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, please be sure to smack that like button and also subscribe, because we are 13 people away as of making this video away from 400 subscribers. So that is pretty cool, and I'm gonna have a 400 subscribers video out if we do hit that. So yeah, definitely tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone you can, tell like the hobo next door, I don't know. Yeah, that'll be much appreciated. Definitely also check down there in the description below for my social media links, and also comment below on what you agree with this build, what you would change, or if you have any other budgets, suggestions, you know, anything. I'll be down to hear you guys out and respond to your comments. But other than that, that pretty much concludes the video there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.